entitled their own money. Who is next? Super Eagles B team. Super Eagles of Nigeria qualifying for the World Cup, which is still not certain right now. And talking about the Tigers also have to make sure they made money. And on that note, I welcome you to Sport Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM, the city of Ibadan. The voice of BIODUN, APENA. This is a lovely Tuesday morning. Yes, it's good to be back on the dial once again. And we are ready to give you all of the top stories from the world of sport this morning. Talking about the home front. Yes, who get to celebrate the Tigers for their success. They just concluded the Afro Basket Championship. Went down in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. And of course, talking about a CHAN 2024 already started. But then Nigeria will be in action against Senegal today. Well, that is a tough opponent. But then the manager of the team and of course the captain saying we are very much ready to get the job. PFL the 2025-2026 season. Some of the top team are ready for that one. And of course we'll be talking about the transfer market this morning. The camp of Liverpool, the camp of Newcastle United as it concerns Alexander Isak. Where is the Swedish international headed? Will he head to Liverpool or is he going to be staying at Newcastle United? Get into all of that this morning. And of course the camp of Atalanta as it concerns Ademola Lookman, the Nigerian international, and not to forget the current African footballer of the year. Says he wants to leave Bergamo, but then Atalanta hierarchy saying for the potential club that want to buy Ademola Lookman, they have to cough out the release clause of the Nigerian international. But Ademola Lookman is saying, let me go, let my people go, just like God told Pharaoh. Well, we'll look forward to that one as it concerns Ademola Lookman as far as Inter Milan and Atalanta are concerned. All of this and many more get to enjoy on Sport Drive this morning. It's all about making money and talk about all of the top stories around the world of sport this morning.
They are still iron. They are still champions. Are you kidding me? Turn, shoots, fires. Shot will go top of the rebound. And that'll do it. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended after a half century. The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
All right, so sport fans, let's get into action on the show for this morning. And let's celebrate the Tigers. Yes, yesterday the Tigers were also celebrated. Talking about making money. It's about making money in Nigerian sport right now. In as much as you can deliver. And for the Tigers, they delivered and they made money. Talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu handsomely rewarded the Nigerian national women basketball team. The Tigers are following their historic 5th consecutive FIBA Women Afro Basket title that they won in Abidjan. And in recognition of their outstanding achievement, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced $100,000 equivalent to 153 million cash. That is a lot of reward. And of course, talking about the coaching crew also, they got $50,000 each. Members of the technical crew, yeah, the likes of Rena Wakama of the Order of the Niger, OON, just like we saw with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And of course, remember I told you, son. Alright, let's move forward. Still talking about the stories from the home front this morning. Let's go straight to the camp of the CHAN team. Talking about the Super Eagles B team. Yes, according to report this morning, the manager of the team, Eric Shaw, told his boys to be ready, prepare for the game. Of course, get your mental ready Talking about the mentality of the player, they have to be very, very strong. They have to focus on what to do against Senegal, because if you look at the trajectory of Senegal in time past, they've been very, very phenomenal when it comes to the CHAN tournament. And of course, Nigeria never won the CHAN tournament. Maybe this is the perfect time for them to go all the way and get the job done. But then Eric Shell acknowledged the fact that Senegal have got quality players. They've got fantastic players who, some, if you look at the last team that were involved in the CHAN tournament, one of their top players actually made it to the regular Senegal national team, and is currently one of the top players in that Senegal team. But then we've got fantastic players also who made it into the team right from at the MPFL, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how some of these guys will deliver. And talking about the captain of the team, yes, Junior Onduka says that the team are very much ready, and they are ready to deliver against Senegal this evening. All right, that is what the guys are saying, and of course we are also looking forward to see that game this evening. I-FLIER 103.3 FM, the voice of BIODUN, APENA this lovely Tuesday morning. Yes, you can also be part of our conversation on the show this morning. You can call us via 0705 500 1033, or you call 09054 44 1033, and you can also 103.3 FM live. That is where to be this morning as we talk about some of the top stories around the world of sports this morning.
And Royce Santana, they smothered it in! Extraordinary!
Okay, let's quickly move on to the foreign scene. I'll be going straight to the camp of AS Monaco this morning, talking about one of their new signing. Of course, this man is a renowned footballer. Talking about a former France international, is no longer playing for the French national team due to what happened to him at some point. Of course, he won the World Cup for them the last time France actually won the World Cup. It was really, really instrumental for Les Bleus when they won the World Cup back then. Talking about Paul Pogba. Yes, the man is in the news this morning. And what is the news saying about Paul Pogba? Yes, according to report this morning, the Monaco hierarchy, they've come out to actually reviewed why they had to sign Paul Pogba. They felt this man have got what it takes to still play at the highest level, and they decided to sign Paul Pogba. So a lot of nights have been going on. A lot of questions have been raised that why is Monaco making a huge risk to sign Paul Pogba? But then the management came out to say, we know this man have got what it takes to still play at the highest level, and we believe he can actually deliver. And Paul Pogba also have come out to say, well, a whole lot of people has really doubted him. Some even says, he cannot deliver at the highest level anymore. But then he's ready to prove all of the doubters wrong as far as football at the highest level is concerned. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Paul Pogba will do in the French Ligue 1. Talking about the new season in the French Ligue 1. Of course, that one will be starting very, very soon. Just a few days to go before the commencement of the regular season across top flight leagues, and of course some of these top players also are very much ready, and among them is definitely Paul Pogba, who's saying I'm ready to prove our doubters wrong.
And that'll do it. It's over. The long wait is ended after a half century.
Okay, looking at other stories, and of course, let's talk about Everton Football Club. Remember, we told you recently that the manager of the team, yes, David Moyes, has been complaining about, the lack of deals in the transfer market, and this time around it seems Everton will be back in the transfer market, and they are on course to sign Chelsea midfielder. Talking about Kenan Drisby Hall, one of the players that Chelsea signed from Leicester City. The man hasn't really hit the ground running at the Stamford Bridge. And this time around, Everton are looking towards his direction to bring him on board. And it will cost them nothing less than £28 million. That is what Chelsea Football Club are asking for that team, for Dries Briol, who has really not, done well at Chelsea. He had a lot of, chance to actually prove himself, but then he hasn't really lived up to expectations. So it's going to be very, very good for this man to join a top-level team in the English Premier League. And the fact that a certain Doucouré has left the club, so he's got a perfect replacement for that man who has left Everton Football Club. So let's see if Everton will make this one permanent. They want to cough out £28 million. I mean, Chelsea are asking for £28 million, but then Everton are saying we can only afford £24 million. That is always, some of the deals the buying club will make when it comes to signing a top player. Of course, this man proved himself at Leicester City. Let's see if he can actually prove himself at Everton Football Club.
It's over. The Bucks have done it.
Okay, let's delve into the transfer gossip proper for this morning. Talking about Newcastle United, they are set to revive their interest in England defender Maguire, who is worth £40 million, according to Crystal Palace. But according to Newcastle, they want to pay £40 million. I beg your pardon. And of course, Crystal Palace says the man worth £50 million. Well, just £10 million are different. But then a whole lot of clubs have been very, very interested in this man. At Chelsea at some point, Manchester City at some point, even Liverpool at some point were interested in him. But it seems Newcastle want to go all out this time around, and they've tabled around £40 million to Crystal Palace. But then Crystal Palace are saying we are not, letting go of Maguire unless some of this top team cough out £50 million. So it boils down to who is going to be paying more for Maguire to actually leave Crystal Palace. There's been a whole lot of, talks about a Crystal Palace player leaving. The likes of Mateta is also one of the top player in the news. Eberechi Eze, we know Arsenal very, very interested in him. Even Manchester United are interested in him. And another player with Sesko. So it boils down to who really wants him, who really wants to pay the release clause of that young man. At the end of the day, we'll get to see where this man is headed. All right, moving straight to Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur have been told they have to pay £30 million to sign a Spanish international, Marc Asado. Yes, one of Barcelona's young and fantastic player. Talking about Marc Asado, but then Tottenham Hotspur have been told that £30 million or nothing for that Barcelona young midfielder. Moving straight to the camp of Real Madrid, it's all about Rodrigo. Yes, Madrid want to sell, but then they are telling a potential club that you have to cough out £100 million for you to get Rodrigo Goes, who has not really found a favor in the face of the new manager. Talking about Xavi Alonso. Right, moving straight to the camp of Juventus. Also still talking about transfer market this morning. Yes, Juventus are also in the race to sign another right back, but then they will be in battle with the likes of Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspur also. And who is that man? All of these top teams are looking around, talking about Anos Martinez, who is currently a Girona player in the Spanish La Liga. They want to sign him. Crystal Palace, Juventus, Tottenham Hotspur are all interested in this young man. Okay, finally on the transfer gossip for this morning, Stuttgart are working on a deal to sign 25-year-old Portuguese international. Gossip for this morning, Stuttgart are working on a deal to sign 25-year-old Portuguese international. Talking about Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. Remember, Stuttgart are ready. To make a deal with Arsenal Football Club, but then to make a deal with Arsenal Football Club, but then the money they table is not disclosed in this particular story. Maybe they want to have him on loan, or maybe they want to sign him on a permanent deal. Nothing is actually concrete right now, but then Trust Us will definitely bring you up to date with all of the interesting stories around the world of transfer. Okay, moving away from the world of football this morning, let's talk about the world of Formula One. And one man is in the news, the legend himself, talking about Lewis Hamilton. Yes, according to report this morning, Lewis Hamilton's debut campaign with Ferrari plunged to a new debt at the Hungarian Grand Prix. The seven-time world champion declared himself useless during his last underwhelming weekend performance, where the man is actually pondering retiring right now. Well, this man has done really well for himself. In fact, he's one of the legends when it comes to the world of the world of Formula One. I beg your pardon. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, for this man to prove to the world again. He's won 7 Formula One title, and of course, what more would you ask from Lewis Hamilton? But then he's actually pondering retiring very soon, because he felt he's not delivering again, and of course, the fans are looking towards him. They still believe he can actually do his best, but then the man is saying, "Yo, I'm currently useless right now. I'm not the driver I used to be." So, well, it's going to be, really sad to see, Lewis Hamilton retire, but then he's paid his bill, he's done well as 100, and of course, 1,000 competition, talking about, a Canadian teenager, yes, Victoria Boko, yes, who has done really well for herself in this particular competition. She actually defeated Spanish Jessica Boza Maniero 6-4, 6-2 at the National Bank Open in Montreal, Canada. Well, talking about one of the young players out there right now, you could talk about the likes of Coco Gauff, you talk about the likes of Jessica Pegula. Also, these are fantastic young players who are doing really well for themselves. But looking at the success of this Canadian teenager, also Victoria Boko, who defeated a highly top player when it comes to the world of tennis, Jessica Bozas Maniero. A whole lot of people were actually surprised, looking at the result of that particular game. But then that is what the WTA get to serve when it comes to some of these major tournaments. I would love to see this young girl go on to do as much as what she's done in this competition in the major Grand Slam. I'm talking about the French Open, the Australian Grand Slam when it comes to the world of tennis. But no doubt she's building a story for herself. She's building an history for herself also, and is going to go a long way in the world of tennis. Okay, as we go for this morning, quickly, let's look at some of the matches to expect in world football. Talking about African Nations Cup. Yes, talking about Chan 2024 by 4 p.m. today. Yes, Congo will be in action against Sudan, and Senegal against Nigeria by 6 p.m. You can catch up with that game in the Champions League qualification. Also, Malmo against FC Copenhagen, Dynamo Kiev against Pavos, Skendeja against Karabakh, and of course, Rangers, not Rangers International here in Nigeria, but then Glasgow Rangers against Victoria Pleasant. By 7:45 tonight by 6 p.m. In the Europa League, we'll get to see Amron against Maccabi Tel Aviv, and the Conference League 7:45 also. Leipzig against Neman will be in action, and a lot of friendly games also, as in against Pisa, Empoli against Solo. And of course, talking about another top team, yes, Nottingham Forest against Fiorentina